Welcome. Welcome to my channel. This is probably going to be my first video, and I am both excited and nervous. I have a stack of books here that I would love to read before my next birthday. If I sit on my bum, this stack is the same height as me. Stack 1, stack 2. I turned 34 in November, and it's near the end of November. So we have roughly 9 months to read these books. That's not a very long time. Okay, I fixed the lighting. Let's talk about some books I would love to read before I turn 34. We're gonna see how unrealistic my own standards are for myself. I think I'm gonna start randomly in this pile of books because there's 34 of them. So we're gonna start with the biggest set, or arguably could be counted as one book, but I'm gonna count it as 3 because I recently picked up this absolutely stunner set of 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. I've been looking for this vintage paperback 3-book set for a really long time. I absolutely am obsessed with this what would be one thick book, but I'm still counting it as 3 because we've got a lot of things to go through. I'll give myself a little bit of grace and count this as 3 books instead of 1 book. I kind of keep on the train of translated literature. I've got a number of translated works on this list. I'm not going to go through necessarily a full read, like, synopsis of all of this because that will take my whole life, but I've got this thin little, like, hardcover book, and it's called All My Cats. And this is translated from Czech into English. I believe this is about a man who loves cats. Do I need another reason to buy a book? No. So yeah, I would love to read all about cats. Next up is a short story collection by Eve Babbitt. I have Black Swans. I don't know very much about this. I think it's a stunning book though, and I have been wanting to read Eve Babbitt. She actually shows up on this list twice. It's Slow Days Fast Company. I mean, obviously Carly read this, and I love Carly. She's inspired me to pick this up, so I'd really like to tackle both, and the only 2 Eve Babbitt books I own, so I would love to read both of these this year. Another short story collection, I'm going to go through a couple of those because I think I have them all together, which is helpful, is What We Fed to the Manticore, which has, again, look at this cover. I can't. This cover brings me joy. It's beautiful. It's stunning. So yeah, these are stories about narrated from animal perspectives about environmentalism, conservation, identity, belonging, etc., etc. Again, not going through the whole synopsis. I think there are even like a little bit of illustrations in here at the beginning of the stories to show you kind of like what animal you're reading from. I hope a manticore is one of them. I'm here for the manticore, you know. Another short story collection by Kaiming Chung, I believe. Please let me know if I'm mispronouncing any of the names, please. This is Gods of Want. I mean, come on, look at this cover. It's stunning. I love short stories. So this is a short story collection I'm excited about. A little bit of a different speed here for the next one, but we're going to talk about The Year of the Tiger by Alice Wong. She is a wonderful disability rep here in America, and I would absolutely love to just digest this right now, and I'm probably going to read this really soon because I want to. It was gifted to me from a friend, and I'm so excited to read about it because I want to read more about disability representation. Also nonfiction on this list, there isn't a ton. I have been reading a lot of nonfiction so far this year, but I just don't have a lot, and these are all books that are in my collection already. I don't have a ton of nonfiction in my collection, so I've been mostly getting them from the library. But this one I have, and I really, really want to read it, and this is Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And I think this, I've heard so many good things about it. I found the paperback copy when it was selling out everywhere, so I cannot wait to read this. I picked this up at a free little library, or a little free library, and this is Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. I think you can see the cover and read it, but it is very bright. I've never read anything by Melissa Broder. I have 2 of her books. It's like a hot girl read, so I may wait for like summertime. I really want to read this. I think it'll be good. The Idiot by Elif Batuman, I believe. And I found this also at a thrift store, and I've been hearing that this is kind of a funny book. I don't read a lot of funny books. I read a lot of like depressing, sad, or maybe like hot angry girl fiction is typically what I'll read if I'm reading something like modern that isn't translated. Usually it's those kind of books. I think it'll be kind of weird, and it's set in 1995, like when email is new, so it sounds really interesting. I don't know, heard good things, so it's on the list. Oh boy, have I heard a lot about this book. A lot of emotional things, so I'm trying not to psych myself out because I do love sad books, but I think this one's going to be really powerful, and this is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. I believe it's Zelfa Kato, but if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm so sorry. But I have heard that this is heartbreaking, it is important, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I got this for my birthday, so I'd love to read it before my next birthday. I just... Another birthday present, All the Light We Cannot See by good old Anthony Doerr, or Doerr. Again, I would love to read all the books I got for my birthday before my next birthday. That seems like a pretty reasonable goal, considering I would have had them a year. So I'm excited to read All the Light We Cannot See. Next up, Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. Nausea by Jean-Paul Sartre. A story, an old, a classic, a French, a book. Okay. In Other Words by Jhumpa Lahiri. This particular book is split so that it is the split language. It was written in Italian, and also it has it in English on the other side. I love that. I've read another book similar to this, but with Korean on one side and then English on the other. It was so cool. I love to see that. So I do not know Italian at all, but I am very excited to see it like in the language that she wrote it in, and then in English so I can read the words. So this is a great gift. Love this one. All right, we're into some classic territory here, so I'm gonna run through these pretty fast. You've probably heard of them. I have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Kind of goes with the hot girl read theme, but I really want to read this book. It's gonna be really good. Lolita by Nabokov. So, boy oh boy, have I read nothing by Vladimir Nabokov. I am both scared, but ready to tackle this book this year. I'm ready to finally read this. Kind of a quiet classic, but one I've heard a lot of good things about is Stoner by John Williams. I think this is going to be really, really good. I also went to school for English, and kind of felt a little conflicted on what to do with my degree. I think this is going to be a really good read for me, and I think I'm going to like this a lot. And I found it for $1. Hell yeah. Another kind of quiet classic is James Baldwin's Giovanni's Room. Not gonna lie, I got heavily influenced by a few people on BookTube to pick this up. I think it's gonna be fantastic. I know I'm gonna love this. I cannot wait to read it. I think it'll be fast. I need some smaller books in this list, but I definitely want to read Giovanni's Room. So this is a precarious stack here. Another little guy, because I again needed smaller books on the list. This is M by Kim Thuy. I would love to read more from Vietnam. This is a Vietnamese piece that I picked up during the Barnes & Noble sale, and it was 50% off. So I was like, yes, please, I need some more translated work in my stack on my shelves, because that isn't like 90% of what I read or anything. That was scary. Good stack, good stack. I have a ton of Asian literature here that is, or specifically kind of Southeast Asian literature or Eastern Asian literature that is going to be coming up real hot. So the first one, I still have it wrapped. I bought it wrapped and it's still wrapped. Try Saying You're Alive by Kazuki Tomokawa. And this is a book about music, and it is about Tokyo in the 1970s and the music scene. I'm keeping it wrapped because I am actually going to be traveling to Japan and Korea in a couple months, and I want to take this with me. So I'm keeping this wrapped so that I can bring it on the plane. Next up, also Japanese. This is My Annihilation by Fuminori Nakamura. And this will be a very quick read. It is kind of got some graphical elements to it, some black pages. It's that silky, like, soft book. Can't say that it wasn't entirely a cover buy, but it was a recommendation at my local indie bookstore, and obviously I want to jump into this ASAP, but I don't know. This looks awesome. If I die in this video, thanks for coming to my channel, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, you know? Next up is a Korean author. We've got, there's a hair on there. We've got The Cabinet by Eun-soo Kim. I picked this up at Kinokuniya when I was in LA last year, and again, I have a whole bunch of Korean literature that I need to read, and I don't know, there's just such a satisfying spine. Another translated work. Are we surprised? Are we shocked? Well, you guys might be. I don't know. I'm not. This one's actually translated from French, which is fun, but this is Elsa Soua du Sapin, and this is The Pachinko Parlor, and she is a Korean French woman, and this particular book I think is actually set in Tokyo during the Civil War of Korea, so it's during the Korean War. So I mean, just like, it's so colorful, they're so pretty. We have the very mixed reviews for that I have seen on this book. I Want to Die, But I Want to Eat Tteokbokki by Baek Si-hee. I've had this one on my shelf since it came out, and I've been wanting to read it, but I've seen reviews, just like accidentally seen reviews that are like, I'm still gonna read it. I need my own opinion on this book now that I've gotten so many other opinions. I need my own. Oh, another Japanese work, guys. We're gonna keep them coming, you know what I'm saying? But this is Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. I've read other books by Hiromi Kawakami, like Manazuru, and I read a really little one called Parade, which is actually, and I didn't know this until after I read Parade, is a spin-off story from the characters in this book. So now that I read the short story, I want to read the actual story. Again, these are small, thank God. I need some small books in the stack. This is like really thick book heavy so far. Don't worry, these aren't even like, I've read Parade, so I want to read this one now. Another Japanese book. We've got a lot, okay? I've got a lot of Japanese books. This is Scattered All Over the Earth by Yoko Tawada, and I am interested. What more can I say? Also, I could like really rank these books by like color. I've got a lot of different colors of these books. Like, they're so colorful. I don't know, it matches some of the other ones down here. Like, look at that. They're all coordinating. Maybe this, like, fuchsia color, which I think it is the color of the year. Maybe it's like a sign. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. We're in the last section, and I say last section because I am going to take an entire section of this video to declare that I have a girl crush and a love for Clarice Lispector. Okay, it stopped recording for some reason, but I have a bunch of Clarice Lispector here, and I will go through them quickly because I don't know why my camera stopped working. The first one is the biggest one for sure, and this is Too Much of Life, and this is her complete Coronicas. The Coronica is a literary genre particular to Latin American newspapers, allows writers to address a wider readership on any theme they like. So she has a very, very chunky selection of her Coronicas, which are here in this massive tome. I am scared to put it on the stack though, so we're gonna do it though. I was debating on reading her complete stories. This one is not going on the stack because it's too ambitious for me. I cannot read both this and the other one in a year. There's no way. That's like a stretch goal. The remainder of her books that I have that I would like to read this year would be Near to the Wild Heart, A Breath of Life, The Hour of the Star. Again, I'm telling you, this kind of color scheme, I don't love that it doesn't match the other books by her, but It matches the other books. So, and Apprenticeship or The Book of Pleasures. This is a hardbound copy. And then The Besieged City. These are the other books I own by her. And I mean, these alone are not very big. Like these together are maybe like the same size, probably not even page-wise as much as the tome. I think I can manage them. If I like tackle them every month, like I can easily knock out my Clarice Lispector like backlog. They're the last ones that are gonna go on the stack and I'm nervous. All of the books are stacked. That is terrifying. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they are stacked from here to here. I'm going to leave you with that. I'm gonna leave you with that little mountain of books here. But please, please, please tell me if you've read any of these books. Are any of these books your favorite? Are any of these books your least favorite? Because that's really what I want to know. I want to know what you hate about all of these books. Do you love some of these books? Do you hate some of these books? Have you never heard of some of these books? Thank you so much for being here. My camera is dying. Okay. Okay, she is dying. That explains it. So I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being here. I am so excited you're here. If you are here, more to come. Bye. Yeah.